Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my YouTube channel, Finances with Rolly. I am Rolly Rambo, and once again, welcome to my channel. So I decided to make a channel about finances. Why? It's because I talk about money all the time, I get money all the time, and when I wake up, all I do is think about money. Not just money into the sense of being obsessed with it, but we're actually having a passion for financial literacy and for me to build generational wealth for me and my family. So on this channel, I'm going to be talking about making money, saving money, budgeting money, and investing money. With that being said, like and subscribe this video since it is my first video on the YouTube, and help me get my algorithm up. So most of us make money or get money somehow, some way. I'm sticking to the legal side of things now, right? That might be from your job, it could be from your parents, or it could be simply from the government. With that being said, most of us do not know about personal finance, or what most people don't know how they spend their money, or don't know how much their monthly expenses really cost. They don't know, like, what's that number that they have to make for them to survive, just to pay their rent, pay their light bill, pay their cell phone bill, pay all the necessitative bills that they have. So what is personal finance, right? Personal finance is the management of one's finances through planning, saving, and investing. That's both in the short and long term of things. So the reason why personal finance is so important is because it's essential for your day-to-day financial demands and your future goals. So the sooner you master personal finance, the sooner you'll be able to take advantage of saving, investing, and retirement planning. And it's never too late to plan for your retirement. So if you took it upon yourself to say, I'm going to tackle this personal finance thing, I'm gonna go get financially literate to the point where I could then become financially confident in myself, and then I can then become financially independent, you have to create a new set of habits, right? One, you have to set specific financial goals, right? You need a clear strategy. You can't just freestyle this shit and be like, all right, bet, I'm gonna make I need to go make $1 million, and I'm just gonna rob a bank. And then the next day you be like, man, I ain't gonna rob the bank. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go become a rapper, right? And then the next day you be like, I'm gonna become a plumber. All right, bet, you gotta stick to a plan. Either you're gonna rob the bank, you're gonna become a rapper, or you're gonna be the plumber. If you're gonna rob the bank, that's not the best idea. You're gonna go to jail eventually if you're going out there robbing banks. If you want to become a rapper, you need a strategy. If you become a plumber, you need a strategy. Where do I start? Do I start in plumbing school? Do I start in rapper school? How does this work, right? So you need a clear strategy. Whatever the strategy is, you need it to be clear, and you need to be able to start and finish that strategy. So you got to be able to start at point A with the strategy and go all the way to point Z with that same strategy. You ain't switching shit up, and just because you see homie over here do this, I'm going to go jump on his bandwagon because I see he got a couple dollars, or I seen homie over there do that, I'm going to hop on his bandwagon because he got a couple dollars. Nah, stand on your square, stick to your strategy, and keep that shit pushing. If you stick to your strategy, things going to work out for you. So the second thing that you have to do is you have to begin budgeting, right? So that strategy that you have, it most likely and always will involve budgeting, right? But it's all depend about how you're budgeting. Are you decreasing your time buying food out so you can save $100 or $200 a week? Or are you not getting a haircut and cutting your own hair? Are you going from 1 pack of cigarette a day to 5 cigarettes a day? So now you're down to, I don't know how many cigarettes is in a pack, but let's just say a pack a week instead of a pack a day, and you're saving money there. Or you not drinking Hennessy every day and only doing it 2 times a week. How are you creating this plan for you to budget, right? So you have to have a budgeting plan. Budgeting is almost, some can argue, the fundamental thing for you to do when it comes down to financial literacy. You have to know how to budget. You have to know where money's going in, where money's coming out of. You have to know how much you're getting paid, how much does it cost for you to live. So you have to figure out your budget plan. You have to figure it out. You have to put it down on paper. Once again, you can't freestyle this. You have to put everything down on paper so you can see it with your own eyes. Ultimately, one of the best things that worked for me when it came down to budgeting and figuring out where do I need to cut costs is printing out my bank statements, my credit card statements, right? Printing everything out, seeing what's going on, what I swiped, what subscription I got that I'm not even using, and it's just money getting out of my account. How much am I getting? How much is the bank charging me to actually have a bank account? Do I have bank account fees with my bank, or whatever the case may be, right? Step 3. So after you've created a specific clear strategy, right? You create new habits for yourself. You then begin exercising your budgeting plan, right, from your clear strategy that you created. The third thing that you need to do is establish an emergency fund or some type of savings, right? Pay yourself first. You have to pay yourself first. You can't be paying everyone else, paying the light bill, the gas bill, the credit card bill, rent or mortgage. You pay whoever it is that you owe money to, right? You're paying everyone, but you never give yourself not even $1, not even $5, $10, $30, $50, right? $100 for the work that you've done. You out there going to work every day. You putting in pain, right? You paying everyone else but yourself. You're never going to be able to become financially confident or financially independent. You might become financially literate, but then you have to put the action behind that. What sense does it make if you're financially literate, you understand what's going on, you see what's going on, and then you go and do nothing? You might as well just not have the information to begin with, took the information out your head and give it to the next person so they can actually get the chance to go and use that information, right? So you have to pay yourself first. Every month or every time you get money, even if it's $1, you would need to put a certain amount to yourself. Some people say 10%, 15%. It all depends on, your lifestyle, what your expenses are, how much you make that you can feel to see what's comfortable that you want to pay yourself. But you have to pay yourself. You have to get in the habit of, all right, I just got some money. I just put $100 in my pocket out of that money, right? I just put 10% away from that money. Even if only thing I got was $100, I just put 10% of my money. If I got paid this week, right, and I get paid every 2 weeks, I just got paid $1,500, you might need to go put $150 inside of your pocket, inside of wherever it is that you save. Hopefully it's in a high yield saving account that you save that money, because that's important. You need to save yourself. You need to save and pay yourself first, right? So the fourth thing that you need to do is reduce debt. Pay off your debt. No matter what type of debt it is. Most people have credit card debt, student loan debt, car debt, right? Your car note, or it's pretty much a car note, whether you're leasing or you're financing, right? It's a car note either which way. Some people, they just gamble, right? So that's a different type of debt problem because it fluctuates, right? But you have that. You might go spend $500, $600 just doing that. Some dudes like the strip club. In my opinion, that's a form of debt as well, because it's not making you no money unless you monetizing that. You find some way to monetize you in the strip club, whatever the case may be, but that's not making no money. That's debt. So you have to get rid of good debt. The only way that debt, you have to get rid of bad debt, pardon me. The only way that debt is good is if you take that debt to buy an asset, something that's appreciating in value. That is the only way debt can be good. Besides that, there is no good debt, right? The only way debt can be good is if you take a loan to buy something, an item, a service, and it's actually paying you. You could cash flow off of that, right? So that's something every month, every week, every whatever quarter that is paying you back, and you're actually making a profit off of that, even if it's $100, $200, $300, right? That's the only way that you can say that you have good debt, right? And that's the only type of debt that you want to have when you are going through this process. I'm not even gonna say process, or living this lifestyle, right? Of being financially literate and being in tune with your personal finances. So after you do the fourth thing of reducing your debt, this is where you want to start investing. A lot of people say, hey, I can't invest because I don't have any money, right? But if you've been following this and you've been setting specific financial habits and goals for yourself, right? And you began budgeting, you created a budgeted plan and you followed that plan. And that plan was then allowing you to establish an emergency fund, right? Which caused you to save money, right? So now you have money in a savings. And once you did that, you reduced debt, but you're still saving money. So now you have less debt, right? You're still making the same amount of money. You owe less money, and you have more money because you've been saving the same amount of money over time. And now you have less debt, more money in your savings. And now it's time to start thinking about investing because you have money in your savings, right? Saving is the first, in my opinion, the first step of, and one of the main things you need to learn when it comes down to being financially independent, because the money has to come from somewhere. So you have to go and work for money at some point, right? Trade time for money. If you're, so at some point you have to go trade time for money so you can be able to have money to save. And once your money's saved, you just don't keep your money in your savings or under your mattress or in the shoebox. You go and you actually invest that money. Now, when it comes down to investing, you have to understand risk to reward ratio. You have to know how likely it is for you to win and ultimately is to lose. When it comes down to investing, one thing I know about investing is that it's guaranteed that you're going to lose. It's a part of the game, right? Just like when you play basketball, you're going to get fouled. You can talk to every basketball player who's ever played basketball, and they're going to tell you that they've been fouled before. So it's a part of the game. You're going to lose. Every time you lose, you're learning something. Now, when you learn something about investing while losing, that's how you become a better investor. And you can only do that with time, right? You have to pay your market tuition. There's no way around it. So the sixth thing that you want to do is use credit cards with caution. The reason why is because you don't want to be in credit card debt. You just came from reducing your debt at step 4. So why would you want to go get credit cards to not pay and be in more debt, right? Credit cards are only used to buy assets. That's the only thing you need to be able to do with your credit card. That's the only thing you need to think about when it comes to credit card. Credit cards, credit. How do I buy something that makes me money, right? Am I able to use my credit card and have someone pay me a service fee for that, right? Sell trade lines, right? Something. But you can't just, all right, I'm going to go get a credit card and I'm going to use it to go buy groceries. Just use your debit card for that. I'm going to use it to go buy some sneakers. I'm going to use it to go buy whatever, a car, put a down payment down on a car. You get $3,000-$4,000, and then you go take the credit card money, take the credit card and swipe that for a car. So your credit card already has an APR on it. Let's say you're probably at, right, 25%, 6, 7, 8, sometimes 29% APR on your credit card. You spend that money to go and buy another depreciating item, right? A car that's probably at another 25% APR. So you're just killing yourself with the APR right now by just not being financially literate to understand that credit cards are only used to buy assets. And number 7, you want to think about your family, right? Insurance. You need insurance. Life insurance, health insurance, dental insurance, disability insurance. You need to understand how to build a trust. What is a trust, right? Everyone knows what a will is and what you want to put in your will and financial generational wealth and leave it in the will. No, what is a trust? How to understand what to own nothing and control everything, right? Understand that. So that's number 7. There are other things that you can do that are still basics of personal finance, like cutting costs. Most of the time when people think about cutting costs, they think about the Starbucks thing, right? I'm not going to go to Starbucks and I'm going to get more cheaper coffee or whatever the case may be, right? If it works for you, it works for you, right? But one big major thing with cutting costs that helped me is, instead of eating out, cook my own food, right? You gotta cook your own food. 1, it's healthier, and 2, it's more affordable. You get to eat better for a more affordable price. Another thing that you can do that is also a basic of personal finance is earning more money. How can I be able to earn more money? You need a skill, or you need skills. You can't be a one-trick pony. You can't just be able to know how to fix a certain type of car. You gotta be able to know how to fix all cars if that's what you're doing. You gotta be able to diversify yourself inside of whatever niche that you're in, right? Maybe you need to go back to school and get a degree so you can earn more money. We all know that people who have bachelor's degrees make more money than on average will make in a lifetime will make more money than someone with just a high school diploma, right? And the same thing for someone who has a master's degree will in a lifetime make more money than a person with a bachelor's degree. Maybe earning more money means getting another job or picking up a side hustle. Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, or using a skill that you have to make money, like, I don't know, braiding hair, cutting hair, just being informative, right? Giving out information in a certain field to people, and they'll pay you for it. Maybe it's music, maybe it's music production, maybe it's talent scouting, maybe it's real estate, helping people get real estate deals, maybe it's like middlemaning something, you feel me? Being able to bridge the gap of someone who's looking for something to sell in a certain niche and the other person who's looking to buy that thing that the person over there is trying to sell. And because you've helped both people fix a problem that they've had, now you got paid because of that. And the last thing that you can do is optimize your spending. So shout outs to the Bigger Pockets podcast, because that's something I've been tuning to for a minute. And just the other day, I was watching one of their videos and they were talking about same thing, you feel me? Like kind of basics of personal finance and some of the key things that you need that's gonna get you to that next level and over that hump. And they talked about something called the tripod of stability. The tripod of stability, right? The 3 things that you need to keep stable in this time of when you're building wealth, right? The first thing was your primary residence, keeping your primary residence stable. You don't want to be moving around from house to house or couch to couch or whatever the case may be through this time, because you need clear heads. You need to be able to be consistent. You need to be able to build a routine and all of these things, right? And you want to be able to just flow with life and everything that's going on. You don't want to feel like you swimming upstream against everything that's going on, right? So 1, keeping your primary residence stable. 2, keeping your employment stable. Being able to know that, you know, you're here, you know what's going on, you know the system that's being set to play at this location. So it's not going to be something you got to learn or whatever the case may be, and you'll be able to do that smoothly, swiftly. Once again, you'll be able to flow. You don't want to feel like you trying to figure out what's going on and whatever, then all of these different things, and adjusting and readjusting and trying to figure out who's who. Nah, you already know who's who. You already know the cycles that go on here, whether it's quarterly, weekly, monthly, daily, depending on the type of work that you're doing. And you'll be able to groove through that situation. Now you'll be able to groove with your living situation, your job situation, and the next thing is relationships. You want to be able to keep your relationships stable. Relationships with your family, your relationships with your significant other, your relationship with your friends, right? Business relationships, number 4, same way. So you kind of want to keep the same flow. You want to be flowing, you feel me? You don't want to just be all over the place, or 1 month you down here, next month you up here, you chilling with these guys over there, you figuring out what they got going on. They probably got some bad habits that you don't need to be dealing with anyway, right? But you're not figuring that out until month 3, 4, 5, while chilling with them or whatever the case may be, or realizing that it's affecting you financially, or realize that it's affecting other relationships, or realize that it's affecting your employment, or maybe your primary residence, right? Maybe your family or whoever you live with don't like these guys. So relationships, got to keep that stable as well. And all of that will help you continue to just steadily incline. Now, the steadily inclining, what that means or what that looks like really is going to allow you to invest aggressively, right? Because your rent or your mortgage is staying the same, right? You're getting the same pay, so you know what's coming in at minimum. If you have opportunity to get overtime, or you're just getting raises over the times, that's just more money for you to invest aggressively, right? Is going to be able to help you take risks with business and splurge on the things that you love. Some of the things that you love may include a vacation once or twice a year, maybe including a vehicle that you might want to upgrade on, or that you've been saving for the last who's to know how long, 1 year, 2 years, maybe just 6 months. All of these things, but you have to give yourself the opportunity to do so, or you will be able to get more opportunities doing so by keeping your primary residence the same, your employment the same, and keeping your relationships intact. You already know what you're dealing with, and so on and so forth. So yeah, this is vid number 1. I ain't gonna talk your ears off, but I'm Rolly Rambo. People know me as Rolly. And like, subscribe, share, tap in.